Alright, Tokyo Game Show 2024 has concluded, and as we expected, we got a new trailer and some extra juicy info about Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. During the Xbox Tokyo Game Show, we got a new trailer for the game. This time, the trailer focuses on the story and showcases some of the key characters we will see in the game, including Sokolov, Ocelot, Volgin, and Eva. The graphics are amazing, and using Unreal Engine 5 might have been a great decision. Hopefully the performance will live up to expectations. However, the animations seems a bit stiff, and the lip syncing looks off. I guess that's what happened when you reuse the same motion capture data from the original game made 20 years ago. Apparently, they have updated the look of the boss. She looks different compared to the previous trailer from 3 months ago. She now looks more faithful to the original design. While I don't have a problem with that, I like the previous design a bit more. Konami also released some key arts on their websites featuring the main characters. But what did they do to my man Sigint? He looks older, way older than he's supposed to be. He looks like he is in his early 40s. Sigint was supposed to be 24 years old during the events of Snake Eater. Anyway, they all look great, although Ocelot and Volgin look a bit generic. They lack distinction and almost look like dolls, similar to how Paramedic appears. As for the trailer itself, it doesn't offer much in terms of new content. It mostly cutscenes from the story we already know, and we don't get any actual gameplay footage in the trailer. However, there is a public demo at Tokyo Game Show, and there is plenty of footage showcasing various gameplay aspects. Plus, there was a live-streamed episode of Metal Gear Production Hotline, which featured a presentation of the gameplay. We even got some direct feed footage, and there's a lot to dive into. Before we get into that, I do have to mention the elephant in the room. Once again, no release date. Metal Gear producer Okamura appeared during the episode and stated that while they have an exact release date in mind, they aren't ready to commit to it just yet. So, unfortunately, no release date was shared. The game is still in active development, which means things might change in the future. As I mentioned in previous videos, if we do not get a release date by Tokyo Game Show 2024, it is safe to assume Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater won't release in 2024. My bet is early 2025, something between January 1st and March 31st. But based on Okamura's statement, I wouldn't be surprised if they push it even further. I have a feeling we might get an announcement during the 20th anniversary of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, which is on November 17th, the day the original game was released. Now for the gameplay footage. Before starting the game, you can choose which style to play, either the new style or the legacy style. It is currently unknown if you can switch between the two styles mid-gameplay, but I doubt that. The demo available to the public at Tokyo Game Show only had the new style. And here is the title screen for the new style. What's interesting is that it is interactive. In the original game, you could control the background and change the colors. Here, you can move the camera, adjust the weather conditions like wind and rain, and even apply a color filter of your choice. This is the language screen, where you can choose whether the character voices will be in English or Japanese, a feature the previous game didn't have. Back then, if you wanted the Japanese voices, you had to buy the Japanese version of the game. A neat addition indeed. The Tokyo Game Show demo only offered 2 difficulty levels, easy and normal. There will be more difficulty options available when the full game is released, so don't freak out. As for the gameplay animations, to be honest, I'm not a big fan of them right now. They look a bit off to me. I don't want to judge too harshly before the final product is out, but based on what I'm seeing, it seems like a mix of animations from the original game, the Phantom Pain, and some new motion capture data. I don't know if it is because the footage is locked at 30 FPS, but it doesn't look great. They mentioned that the demo is set to graphic mode, which is locked to 30 FPS, but the final product will have a performance mode. However, I found some footage on YouTube where the game appears to be running at 60 FPS, and it looks much smoother. The animations here seems more polished and easier on the eyes. So, back to the presentation. You will notice they have added a small cutscene that didn't exist in the original game, which I truly appreciate. It is these little things that I enjoy so much. Also, Let's take a look at the codec screen. Finally, they have added a long-awaited feature. You can fast-forward codec calls and resume them from a specific point with audio. In the original game, if you skipped a segment, you couldn't listen to the rest of the conversation. This new option is fantastic in my opinion. You can also pause cutscenes, a feature that has been available since Metal Gear Solid 4. This means you can take a break during a cutscenes whenever you like. The control scheme seems to be similar to the Phantom Pain, which I fully approve of. Like I've always said, the Phantom Pain has the best controls and gameplay style in the franchise. As for the HUD, you can customize it to your liking. You will notice they have added a compass in the bottom left, which directs you to where you go. I find this a bit odd since Metal Gear Solid 3 is a linear game, and the areas aren't big or open enough to get lost in. They mentioned the compass is there because the game is now a third-person shooter, and players might lose their sense of directions during encounters. Well, okay then. The triangle or Y on Xbox button is now your roll button. It is unclear if it is also function as the crouch or crawl button, but I doubt it. Your camouflage index now depends on the environment around you. For example, if you submerge yourself in mud, your camo index increases. In the footage, you can see Snake's camo index at 15%, but after rolling in the mud, it jumps to 45%. If you leave the mud on, it will dry and fall off, lowering your camo index. You can clean up by switching camos in the menu screen. Your camouflage can also get damaged. It can be punctured and scratched, and this damage will remain until the end of the game. The D-pad is now used for quick menus, and it looks like the game will pause when you access them. I don't have a problem with that, but it might feel strange at first. Pressing left gives you access to items and equipments. Right opens your weapons, down opens the codec, and up lets you access camouflage presets. You can customize your presets, and switching between camouflages is now fast and instant. This is a quite relief to me. It addresses a big problem I had with the original game. Switching between camouflages is a slow process and take away from the immersion in the game, as every few steps that I take, I had to pause the game, go to the camouflage menu, choose the camouflage that will work well with the spot in the area that I am in, then go back to the game, continue and repeat, all while dealing with the slow load times of the PlayStation 2 hardware. Thankfully, the camouflage presets solve this problem. The geckos from Metal Gear Solid 4 are now in the game, along with keratons. So far, there are 3 different geckos, each camouflaged differently. One is wood, another is leaf, and the last is rock. They seem to serve the same purpose as keratons. Konami is also partnering with CalorieMate again. Depending on which gameplay style you choose, you will get a different flavor. The new style features a cheese flavor, while the legacy style has chocolate flavor. I don't know if anyone cares, but there you go. However, an interesting feature has been revealed. They have mentioned the existence of a photo mode. Snake will have different poses for it, and I am kinda excited to see how that will turn out. And that, my friends, is all the info we got from the Metal Gear Production Hotline episode. But that's not it. There are various interesting gameplay details I have discovered from other players who tried the public demo at Tokyo Game Show 2024. For example, you can shoot the bridge to make it unstable for the enemies, causing them to fall off. Another interesting detail is that if you make Snake vomit, you will actually see the contents of his stomach based on his last meal. It is disgusting, but I like it. The demo isn't that long. It ends once you reach Sokolov, so it covers about 90% of the virtuous mission. A lot of people have been asking me, do you think Konami will release this demo online? My answer is, I don't think so. Konami typically doesn't release demos for their games, unlike companies like Capcom or Square Enix. But listen, don't lose hope. Back in the day, we did have demos for Metal Gear games. Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, 4, Portable Ops, even though it was through Ad Hoc, Peace Walker, and Rising Revengeance. All of these games had demos, so I don't see why Konami couldn't release one for Delta Snake Eater. They might actually be planning something like that, maybe around the 20th anniversary? We'll just have to wait and see. In conclusion, I still have mixed feelings about the remake. Sometimes I am excited, and other times I am disappointed. But you know what's reassuring to me? Konami hasn't announced a release date just yet. If you're wondering why that's a good thing, it means they are still actively developing, updating, and fine-tuning the game. They are definitely listening to fans' feedback, and the boss's updated design is a proof of that. It seems like Konami really wants to deliver a quality product. And who knows, maybe they got something up their sleeves. Maybe they will announce extra modes in the game, like Snake vs. Monkey, but rebranded to avoid licensing issues. The side ops that were scrapped from the 3DS version of Metal Gear Solid 3. And maybe we will even get MGO. Okay, let's not get too crazy. My point is, Konami is still working on the game, and all I can say is, let them cook. So, what do you guys think about the new trailer and all the new info? Are you excited? Or are things still leave you unsure? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.